Hey everybody, it is that time of the week, that time of the month, that time of the year. It is the not the RPG Kingdom podcast. It is the
That
Site
didn't
Scope.
take that didn't take long.
Yep, it is the Site Scope, an RPG podcast. Episode one of the first game, Lunar, the Silver Star Story complete for the PlayStation One.
Yes.
One of my favorite RPGs. Top three on the PlayStation One. It's just a phenomenal game. And Travis, you never finished it, right?
That's correct. I only made it up to Vice, the Magic City, and I gotta say, so far it is probably my all-time favorite Lunar game that I've ever played.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, one of one.
Yeah.
So before we get into the game, Travis,
Yes, sir.
what else have you been playing?
I have been playing a buttload of Final Fantasy 12 Zodiac Age.
Nice.
Um, for some of you out there who are in the know, I just had surgery last week. So I was laid
On
up
his
on the
crotch.
couch. Yeah, I got a groin implant. Uh, I was
He,
technically it's true. Yeah,
he got a wiener reduction.
I can wear pants. It's awesome. But no, I had a hernia repair last Tuesday, and basically I was kind of laid up for like 2 days straight. So I decided, now's as good a time as any. I can't play Yakuza Like a Dragon or Persona 5 around my children.
I
So
mean, you could.
I mean, I could, but I'm fairly certain it probably would not go over well.
No, it wouldn't.
But yeah, so I started playing Zodiac Age, and I gotta say, it's actually a rather enjoyable experience over the original game. A bunch of quality of life improvements, mainly with like the job board and how all that stuff is set up. But uh, since I've been able to get up, I haven't been playing as much. But I have also been playing Final Fantasy X, which was the last game that I was trying to stream before I quit.
Because you love Blitzball.
Blitzball is like the best water sport in Final Fantasy X.
Oh, just like
Just like Lunar's my
Lunar
favorite
is the
Lunar
best.
game.
Yeah, exactly. I got that.
Yes, it's a running theme for me tonight. Um, but no, it's after I think I played like 4 or 5 Blitzball games in total, and finally started to get my team a little less janky.
Okay.
So it's not as angry and frustrating anymore. I'm not a big fan of when like you're intended to like suck and lose for the first few games, and then like finally your guys catch up to everybody else, and you start actually being able to get some goals and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
taking these off.
When 10 was remade, there was quite a few people playing it on Twitch, and everybody was going like crazy over Blitzball. I'm like, it's a fun game, but it's not that fun. Like people were
Well,
having dedicated streams of just playing Blitzball.
and even as a mini game, I've played
It's
better on Super Nintendo.
it's a bottom tier mini game. It really is. Like every mini game in Final Fantasy VII is better than Blitzball.
I'd rather go back and play. What's the dude's name? Nord Nordstream Beckler or whatever the hell from Chrono Trigger.
Oh
The
yeah,
house, the tent of horrors.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
No,
I'd rather go there and just like play those 3 mini games over and over than play Blitzball. And
yeah. No.
but
You're 100% right.
as for me, it's in my opinion. And then finally, besides that, I did yesterday or the other day picked up uh, Star Wars: The Old Republic again. Just because I don't know, I feel like I need a progression type game in my life, but I don't
Diablo
want one.
4.
No, dude, that's the worst possible idea for me. I can't do action
Season 1 just
RPGs. They're
started today.
so well. Then it'll start without me.
It did start with that. You got to catch up. I'm already level 16.
Fine, whatever. But now I figured that doing something like free to play that somewhat interests me is a better option for me than playing something that really interests me, because then I will get addicted and then just
Yeah.
play nothing but. So
Yeah.
I'm just
No,
giving the Old
I get
Republic
that.
a try. So
Trust me, I get that.
yeah. But that's it for me. How about you? What have you been up to?
First of all, the Old Republic is the best single player MMO I've ever played. I played 3 character stories from level 1 to max level. I
Nice.
never did anything with people. Best single player and that was at launch.
It's
Best single
very
player.
different. It's
It probably is now. Like I stopped before it went free to play. Um, I loved Hutball though. That's the only thing I did with other people is I loved Hutball. I played what is it, a Sith sorcerer? Is it a
yeah.
sorcerer?
Yep, I have a
And
Sith Sword, sure, but
I just lightning pull people into the acid. It was fun. It was a fun
nice.
time. Um, what I've been playing though is, of course, I'm playing Diablo 4 Season 1 just dropped today. I actually spent this morning because it launched at like 1 p.m. Eastern time. I spent this morning while I was logged into work, putting Diablo 4 on my Steam Deck so I can play while I'm working. Employer, don't find out.
Yeah, till when your boss watches this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Number 1 podcast on the internet right now.
Yes.
But yeah, so I've been playing that. I picked up a game called Gravity Circuit. It is like an old school like Mega Man X style of game.
Okay.
But the robot that you use melee instead of like a buster. And
So, like
then
Zero.
sort of, yeah, but you're punching.
Oh, okay.
But then like you get different upgrades and like I have like a Kamehameha. It's a pretty
Nice.
fun game. It's hard though, like the platforming is hard. It's like old Mega Man hard. I'm really enjoying it.
Cool.
I am still dabbling with the Binding of Isaac when I have like a couple minutes here and there on the PlayStation because I am a slut for trophies, as you know.
Yeah.
And what else am I playing? Well, besides Lunar, Dave the Diver. Dave the
Heard great
Diver
things.
is potentially not only indie game of the year, it is a game of the year contender.
Nice.
Because that game, it's like Frog Fractionsy, where they just keep adding stuff, and there's a lot of
Okay.
mystery to it. So what you do is you during the day you go, then you get quests and missions to do stuff. You dive. Your name's Dave, and you get fish and materials and like recipes and shit to cook sushi at night, and you run a sushi bar at night. And it's like a mix between like a roguelite in the diving section, and then at the sushi bar at night is like very similar to like a
Cooking
dumbed down
Mama.
version of Cooking Mama
Okay.
or Cook Serve Delicious. Very,
Cool.
very dumbed down. And you can hire people to help you out in the sushi bar. And you meet a bunch of different characters. Like there is a guy that is like a weaponsmith. You can craft weapons. You can upgrade weapons. One of the early quests I did, apparently there's under the sea people. And I did something, and like a giant squid was behind me the whole time. He just moved, like the eyeball just popped open, and it's like, "Oh, see you later." Very very fun game. I highly
Cool.
recommend both that and Gravity Circuit. Um, our good friend McDee's LPs beat Dave the Diver. It took him like 50 hours.
Jeez. That's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah, it's
big.
and he's also like an achievement slut like me, so like he's probably gonna go back and play some more, but it's a good game. Highly recommend.
Nice. I'll have to check it out. Well, I have checked it out a little bit, but I didn't, just watching like a couple trailers. But I should definitely pick it up.
It's great. I think it's only on Steam right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't played it on the Steam Deck. Steam Deck's a great investment. It really is. It's very, very surprising how powerful that little machine is. Like it plays Elden Ring, it plays Red Dead 2, it plays Diablo 4. Granted, when you're playing those big beefy games, you have to pretty much stay plugged in because the battery only lasts like 2 to 3 hours.
Okay.
But if I'm playing those games for that long, I'm gonna be somewhere near an outlet.
Okay. Cool. That sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it is. It is. But now on to the main attraction, ladies and gentlemen.
I,
Lunar the Silver Star story complete.
I hate
Travis is
glasses,
getting
by
his
the way.
glasses on.
I hate it. I hate because like the see now you can't see my eyes. I still got to do like this the whole time.
like an old man. Um, so Lunar the Silver Star Story came out what, Sega CD, right?
Sega CD original, yes.
And then it was ported to the Saturn.
I think that was the path. Yeah, because then Complete came out for the PSX after that.
And then Complete came out in 1999 for the PlayStation 1.
Good
I
year.
didn't. It was a good year. It was a phenomenal year. The
Jeez.
Silver Star Story Complete came out with a big box, not like the old tall boy PlayStation games, the long boxes. But it
But
had
the double, right?
it had the double, but it came in a
Oh no, that's
cardboard
right. It's
box. You have it, don't you?
Because it also included this little deal here, as well as a cloth map, which I do not have,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
it had that in the cloth map, and
That's cool. Like it's
there
got
was
closely, it's got like a little here you go, PlayStation emblem up here. It's pretty
yeah,
cool.
and it was Working Designs that ported it over. I don't know, was Working Designs uh the original creator?
Developer was let me see. Game Arts?
Yeah, Game Arts, and then Working Designs ported it to PlayStation. So
There you go.
there was two
Super.
different versions in the United States too. One came with just a music disc, like the soundtrack,
Mhm.
and then there was one that came with like a behind the scenes. There was a 3 disc and a 4 disc version. Just a phenomenal game. Let's talk about it, Travis.
Sure. All right. So, first off, I would like to say that um, as like I really do want to like this game, but the beginning is a s- I want to say a slow burn, but I don't want to because it's not slow enough. Like
It's a
like
medium burn.
yeah, it's like I enjoy what I've played so far. But I don't think I have gotten far enough yet to say that this is like wow, I really enjoy this game. There are many reasons as to why I feel that way, and we'll as we continue, as we dive into this, we'll go over some of that stuff. But I'm hopeful. There are a couple things that definitely have hooked me so far. The music is just ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh
Definitely
yeah.
one of the better soundtracks on the PlayStation for sure. The fact that the voiceovers, like the voiceovers, have no business being as freaking amazing as they are for the PlayStation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I gotta the anime cutscenes, man.
yeah, they're gorgeous. They're done really well. It's got that like it is very like 80s anime,
Yeah, it is. It is very, very 80s, like
and not 80s
early.
like Akira, but 80s like what is it, Monster Hunter or whatever that one monster was it Monster Slayer,
Demon Slayer, because
Demon Slayer?
that's not the 80s.
No, I'm trying to I forget what the I don't know.
Are you
I
talking about
forget.
Berserk?
No, no, I know Berserk.
But it's
I
kind of
had
got
that for
like
Dreamcast.
that's a good game on the Dreamcast, by the way.
Yes, it is.
It's got like sort of like vibrant colors, but they're also muted a little bit.
We're gonna go with I'm gonna go with actually no probably like Fist of the North Star. We'll go with Fist of
Okay,
the North Star.
yeah,
That's a perfect example.
that is a good that is
Yes,
a good example. Yeah, but
yes,
it's got like that kind of like muted, bright, vibrant tones of like 80s
it,
anime.
yes. It's not like the colors aren't muted, but it's like it's flat. It's not like overly shaded or
Yeah,
contoured or anything like that. It's just it's like flat color, but it's bright. It pops and it's just nice to look at.
it
Done
is,
really
and
really well.
it's aged very well as well.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
And it's just you didn't see that sort of attention to detail, that just passion to put that sort of content in a video game in the 90s, especially on the PlayStation 1.
Mhm.
Like it's
I,
leagues above like the Final Fantasy VII cutscenes, where either they're the wonky, blocky like Popeye arms, or they're the really good looking cutscenes, but something just feels off.
I don't care. I don't care what you say. The cutscenes from Final Fantasy VII were a freaking tech demo.
They really were. I mean,
They were not going for high quality with those.
no, like
I'm sorry.
eight and nine really stepped up the game for cutscenes. Like nine's
Yeah,
cutscenes are
nine.
really
Oh,
good.
nine is like to me, nine is as stunning as 12 was on PS2.
Yeah,
Like I think it was just like it was top notch, just absolutely gorgeous. And
yeah,
I'm glad that with Lunar they didn't try to take Silver Star and rebuild it into this 3D, this 3D world and 3D adventure. But they kept it true to the original game, and they just made it better.
yeah,
And I actually did find out that the Sega CD version actually had a different soundtrack.
yeah. They redid the
Oh,
soundtrack for the PlayStation, for the Saturn and the PlayStation version.
and they're both stupid good.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, oh yeah.
but
Um,
I will say, as much as I like the soundtrack, man, the world theme really starts to drain me
yeah,
because it's
it
like,
does. It's
it's
very
like,
very repetitive on that sort, but it's not. It doesn't have the issue where like a lot of the games back then, like even look at Suikoden 1, where there is a huge travel time in between
yeah,
town and points of interest, where you have Lunar where 5 second walk, ten
yep,
second walk. Everything is just right there. Later on in the game, yeah, there is some spots where it's a little bit to travel, but it's not like Suikoden 1 right out of the gate. You're walking.
yes.
And this one it's very, very easy and very quick to get from point A to point B. Uh
Though I gotta say, the world music, it reminds me of, like, go back to like Lufia 2, where you go to the casino. Like the world music reminds me of like Super NES RPG casino themes.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Like straight up, like that's the perfect way I can describe that.
You know what music got me really like frustrated when playing a game that I eventually turned it off? The battle music for Dragon Quest 11. The battle music for Dragon Quest 11, because there's only one battle music.
Yeah.
And it's just so repetitive. And I grind. Like I'll sit in a place
Oh
and I'll
yeah.
grind. And after hearing that for a solid 5 hours, done. Turn the music off. I'm putting music of my own on.
I play like all my Switch stuff. I play with the volume all the way down because I usually play around other people,
Yeah.
and I don't really want to take my headphones all over the house to play. So I just
The Switch
my
has
volume's
Bluetooth
just down.
headphones now.
I don't have Bluetooth headphones, my friend,
Uh, get with the
and
times, Travis.
I can't wear earbuds either. They
Get
fall
with the
out of my
times.
face. I can't. No, maybe the time should get with me. I'm sick of this crap. I'm sick of trying to keep up.
The future is now, old man.
I don't care. I don't care. Bring me back to the '90s. I was listening to freaking Strung Out. Was it Twisted by Design, 1994? Beautiful album. Listen to that today. I'm not going anywhere. I am stuck in the mid to late '90s. I will stay there for the rest of my life. I don't care. Look,
Here's, I mean,
made in the '80s. Eat it.
I mean, in the '90s, it was either I was playing video games with my CD player on, like my boombox,
Yep, yep.
or I had two TVs in my bedroom and I had video games on the big one and like a movie or something on the little one.
There you go.
But let's not get off topic here. Let's start talking about the video game.
Okay.
So we start off in the little town of Berg. Not a lot really goes on here.
No, not particularly. I mean, you start off. We start off with Alex just kind of fawning over the gravestone of Dine.
Yeah,
Dine being the Dragon Master who was from the town of Berg, and Alex is like, "I'm gonna be that guy," and Null is like, "Yeah, okay," and Null's like a flying cat dragon.
yeah, yeah.
Whatever he is.
Null is it's almost as bad as like Navi from Ocarina of Time
Yeah,
at times. But she does stuff for you. I'm not sure.
I
I want
I've
to actually
stopped.
say he.
I think it's a he, but
It's hard to tell. But so Dine is the dragon master. I almost said dragon lord or
yes,
dragonborn from
Dragon Ball.
Skyrim. But
Osroda.
and you start hearing beautiful, beautiful music.
Yeah, some gorgeous singing
And
coming from
enter
Lunar, Luna,
Luna.
Vashon.
Yeah, from WWE. No, that's when you meet the other main character of the
Yeah.
game, Luna, who is your sister but not your sister.
Yes, sister.
Like adopted sister, but there's some weird sexual tension.
I mean, there's obviously tension. There's obviously sexual tension. They flirt with each other throughout most of the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Um, Luna shows like a ton of care for Alex, and Alex shows a ton of care for Luna. But sometimes they have those dialogues that are like very very much so on the flirtatious side.
Yeah, it's very questionable
Yeah,
what's
and
going
they're
on.
they're definitely not related, which you kind of learn very early in the game. But
Yeah, it's almost like she's adopted. Like,
yeah,
I'm, I mean, I know where she came from.
well, I would hope so. I think she came from the moon, hence the name.
It's possible. But yeah, and then you meet our other friend,
Remus.
good old Ramus,
Remus.
Harold Ramus,
Remus.
who's very, very greedy.
Very greedy. And basically, he's the kind of guy who's going to be your friend just to get something out of it.
Yes and no. I mean, he gets some decent character development, and me have playing this game several times, and you have not playing it. I can't really go into it, but he's very, very basic as far as a party character goes. Like,
Yeah.
it's already been established that Alex is your main guy. And Luna, once you start fighting, she's gonna be your healer.
Yep.
Ramus just attacks.
He
That's
just
all he
attacks,
has.
and all he gets when he levels up is hit points.
Yeah.
That's it. So like you'll find that he does like flatline like within like 5 or 6 levels,
Mhm.
where he just starts to just really fall behind the other two, but he serves his purpose in the cave in the forest.
Yeah, he gets his like diminishing returns pretty early on.
Yeah.
Speaking of the cave, after we gather some stuff around town, we buy some equipment. And fun fact, the first time I played this game, I bought equipment but didn't equip it. And then
Nice.
I got pooped on in the cave.
Yeah, that the cave, and this is one of the things where I struggle to find like a lot of enjoyment early on. Is that you go to the White Dragon Cave, and the first few things you fight are flies and slimes, which are both
Mhm.
like stupid easy.
Very, very generic
Then you come up against
RPG.
it. Yeah, then you come up against a Yeti, and you just get dunked on so hard, like one shot kills, and it's just so like it's so frustrating to realize that like you need to grind for the first dungeon.
Yeah, yeah, you do, and I get that. It's not ideal,
Yeah,
especially in this day and age where like everybody wants their instant gratification. Like, but I I will sit there and I will grind, and I will grind, and I will grind, and there's some mechanics in the dungeon as well in the cave where you have to use the Yetis to break ice blocks.
I thought that was cool. I thought that was a really cool little puzzle.
Yeah.
Versus just being fighting until you get to a boss or to a story point.
Hmm.
Just a nice little addition there. Um, but and usually, if I was playing this game in my free time just for myself, I would have no problem grinding for hours to get to the next level of equipment or power
Yeah.
or skills or whatever. But this time, I did not have such luxury. So I'll flat out tell you, I cheated. I don't care.
Oh, did you?
I just flipped on some max HP stuff because I'm using Duck Station, which has like a built-in cheat engine.
Yeah, I
So I
think
just did that just for funsies.
because I'm actually playing it on my PlayStation Mini that I have like every RPG you could think of on
Hmm.
um hooked up to my TV right here. And I think because I'm using RetroArch, I think there's actually cheats built into RetroArch. I don't remember,
I wouldn't
but
be surprised.
but I'm not using them. I am going to sit there and I'm going to enjoy this game for what it's worth. And
I
I'm
I
just
will
having
turn them off. I like they're off now. But I because I just wanted to give myself a start that I wasn't kind of just like playing for hours that I don't always have just to
yeah.
be able to get past the first part. So
No, I get that. I get
yeah.
that. So in the good old, it's not a long dungeon. I mean, what makes it long is the fact that you have to grind.
Mhm.
We meet a very very special person in the dungeon, and by person, I mean a big fucking white dragon.
Quark. His name's
Correct.
Quark. He's a big old Dagron.
Yeah, and he gives you like a little bit of a quest,
Yes. Um,
and
and he also makes poop diamonds.
yeah, it's like Korok seeds in Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. It's just gold shit. But you have to get the dragon ring, which is the first piece to becoming the new dragon master.
Yeah.
And then once you do that, um, now I'm kind of a little bit hazy on this because I may have been medicated at the time. Um, did you talk about Null being a dragon yet?
No,
Okay,
but
that's gonna happen.
it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. He
Yeah,
looks half dragon at least.
yeah,
But he does mention he does say, and this is kind of where you start to learn that Luna might not just be Alex's childhood pal. But Quark says, I recognize that name. And
yeah,
obviously, if she's just, a kid that's going out adventuring for the first time, that's not going to be a thing. And then also, he tells Alex that his eyes remind him of Dyne,
yeah,
which sets Alex all a tither.
yeah. And it makes me like being an adult now makes me question if Alex's dad is really Alex's dad. Maybe Alex's mom was a hussy. All right.
Or, well, Dyne, how old is Dyne supposed to be? Was he a generation before Alex?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, maybe.
It's not like they're
Well,
like hundreds of years old.
what if they're like what if they're like cousins or or like
It's Brunkle Dine.
there you go. Sorry.
But yeah, no, yeah, you get a little bit of foreshadowing, and let's be honest here. Even when we were younger, we knew you were inevitably going to become the Dragon Master. You
Oh
knew
yeah,
it.
yeah.
It was a matter of time.
It was basically you find that out like it's kind of expected from like the very first set of dialogue in the game.
Mhm.
It's we've played enough RPGs to understand what's going to happen when people say things like that.
Yeah, I would like there to be an RPG where it's like, hey, they talk about you becoming this thing the whole time, and then you just don't do it. Like you just become some like
It's
shopkeeper.
like I idolize the Dragon Master, and then you just grow up and you're just like some dude who just
He
out
has
who just likes to
crippling
farmer.
anxiety, so he just becomes like a shopkeeper.
That- That'd be awesome. That'd be a great way to start a game like Reciteer. Like
Yeah,
you're supposed to be an adventurer, but I kind of don't want to leave town, so I'm just gonna sell stuff.
exactly. Like Moonlighter without the dungeons.
Yeah, just become like a comic book collector.
Worst episode ever. But so after we go through the White Dragon's Cave, as we now know it is, we're back to Berg.
Yes. We get back there, and it goes into like a little bit of conversation about Ramus and Alex and Null heading off to Meribia
Mhm.
after they get the diamond. And this is actually one of the points that the dialogue was like, yeah, this did not age well. Like they really like, oh, she's a girl, she's just gonna keep you down. Like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's not great. um,
It's not for today's
no, no,
audience.
and it does happen a couple times, and I'm kind of I'm glad that they at least didn't have Alex like fully buy into it. He's like, well, I guess you might be right, and but like Null and Ramus are like, yo, screw her, we out, we're leaving.
So
But
there is some very, very strong female characters later on in the game. The two very strong female characters. So
cool,
things do change when it comes to that aspect. I
that's
will
good,
tell you that.
that's good.
Um, but also, we find out that the shopkeeper in Berg cannot afford to buy the diamond off you. Bum bum bum.
Foreshadowing.
hmm and then you try to sneak out of the city without Luna, and we go to the weird woods.
Yep, and we
Uh,
can't.
and then we get attacked and we run away from the weird woods.
Yep, it's too foggy.
Yep.
Just too much fog. And
Um, so we
and
go to
we
bed, which is weird because you have to talk to your father a couple different times, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, you should probably just go to bed."
thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Peepaw. Thanks for the update. Um, Also, we can buy some new equipment after you wake up. There's new gear overnight. I don't know how it got there.
Yeah, maybe Quark dropped it off.
It's possible. I mean, the only other way is the weird woods, and you're not making it through there.
No.
So that's it for Berg. We're done. We
Yeah,
wake up.
we wake up, we talk to Luna, she comes with us, and
Mhm.
we go. And that's it. That's like the introduction to the game, basically.
And then the credits roll. End of game.
Yep. Thanks, everybody. Podcast is it. This is our final episode.
First and last. But no, we head into the weird woods, and surprise, surprise, Luna can sing the fog away.
Yes, she's a very talented singer, songstress, if you will.
Yeah. She got them powerful lungs. Now, right about now, I'm like level like 12 or 13 because I grinded a lot.
I'm,
You use
I'm,
cheats.
I'm somewhere around there still, though.
And then according to my notes, the weird wood sucks because there's a lot of paths.
There's a lot of paths. I actually did end up clearing out the entire place.
So did I.
Which brings me to the point that treasure so far is wholly useless,
It is.
except for the fact that, like, it's basically just saves you some cash in having to
Yeah, it
buy a
is.
couple antidotes and herbs. That's
It is. It is.
basically it.
That is. There's a lot of that.
I
There
figured
is
as
a
much.
lot of there's a lot of treasure chests in the game. There really is, and a lot of it is materials to consumables to help you on your journey to save you money. Um, but you know, it's a good time. So we go through the weird woods, and then we get to this big opening, and surprise, surprise, we get ambushed by tons of monsters.
Yes. And this is
And
when like shows up. What? Lake?
lake,
Laic?
I think it's just a lake.
Laik?
Lake.
Lahi?
I'm just gonna keep saying lake.
Laike. I'll go with
Uh,
Laike. There you
yeah,
go.
he's pretty powerful. I mean, he
Yes.
hits 3 times.
And
Each,
hard.
yeah. That's one thing I do like about this game is it's on par with like the older Final Fantasy games, where the more you level up, the more swings you get of your sword.
The older
Um,
Final Fantasies.
yeah, like
The very older Final
one,
Fantasies.
2. That might be it.
Buckle my shoe.
3, 4.
mop the floor.
Sure. I believe it was Shut the Door.
Oh, I was close.
But that's really it for the Weird Woods. I mean, you get a little cutscene where everybody's going to bed. He sprinkles some sort of herb on the fire.
Spices.
And everybody goes to bed, and he's like, he reminds me of me. Towards Alex, of course.
Yeah. Which is, I have zero confirmation on this, but I do feel like this man might be dying.
It's possible.
I
think you know the answer to that.
Which I think I figured. I think I realized that last time too. Which though is weird because his eyes are dark, like dark brown or black. I can't really tell. But
contacts.
I guess, yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't know either. I mean, it is. It's dying.
Yeah.
I think I know that for a fact. I knew it when I was younger. I'm like, hey, he's obviously somebody important. It's probably dying.
And the fact that both Quark was like, reminds me of Dine, and this guy's like, reminds me of me.
Yeah, and exactly. Like they're just tying. They're not even pointing you in the right direction. They're picking you up and putting you down there.
No guessing at all. It's just this is it. This is this. So after this, we head out of the Weird Woods and we make it to the town of Saith.
Mm-hmm.
Saith is the port town where we're hoping to catch a boat to Marivia. But when we get here, we find out that the captain lost his sea chart to this guy named Brett. And this guy named Brett is just a gambler who just hangs out in the back of the bar and likes to cheat people out of their money.
Yeah.
But Ramus is like, I'm better at cheating people out of their money, so I'm going to show why this guy is a cheat, and and he does. He's using swapping coins. Yep.
Yeah, and it's another short trip into the small town. You could obviously pick up some more equipment, some more gear, but you have to go get the sea chart back. So we're off to the old hags. Forest.
Holy!
My apologies. That is. I have dyslexia. Okay.
Jeez. Well, there's the end of our fight.
No, that's all right.
But and actually, I do want to mention before we go into the old hag's place. This is one of the tropes that I dislike about some of these classic RPGs is basically going somewhere for the sake of going somewhere.
Yeah.
Where it's got so little tie to the story, but it's obviously just basically just a diversion to get you to to play more. To extend playtime. And that's okay, but at least the cool thing is the fact once you get there, you end up meeting the new guy,
Nash. What
a douchebag!
Yeah, his name should be Chad.
It really should.
His name really should be Chad. There's another area. A lot of flies, a lot of poison going on.
Oh, I hate poison in this game so much.
Yeah, it's a very common thing in the beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's pretty easy. You're here for a couple minutes. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, you just get the sea chart off the old hag.
Yeah.
That's really it. And then we're back to safe.
Yep. And so here is when we go back to the captain, we find out that something is definitely going down at the docks.
Mm-hmm.
And this is our first
major boss fight.
Battle.
Fun fact: the boss's name is the Saline Slimer.
Nice.
Yeah, and also fun fact: so this game they remade it and re-released it on the Game Boy Advanced.
I think so.
Yeah, the Game Boy Advance, and they changed it from a slime to just a pirate.
Why?
I don't know. I have no idea.
That was Harmony? That was that one, right?
I believe so. Silver Star Harmony.
Yeah.
I
But
believe so.
that's
Yeah, I have no idea why.
okay.
But yeah, it goes to not an easy boss fight, by the way.
No, it's not. It's also very.
He's tanky.
He is tanky. He's got a bunch of HP, and as long as you keep your healing up though, and you've got a couple herbs between your
Yeah,
folks, should be all right.
and I don't know if you're a cheater, but
I turned it off by this point.
so every now and then Null will throw out like a random heal, and if one of your characters gets knocked down, she'll randomly sometimes she'll get him back up. So she does things. I'm not sure if
Yeah,
it's a boy or girl. I'm not trying to assume one's gender, Travis. They
I'm not assuming you are assuming.
they inevitably help you get it back up. Nash is very, very beneficial in this fight though, because it's very weak to Thunder. With it,
He is a
um,
he.
I said Nash. Yeah, I said he,
No,
didn't I?
no, Null is a he.
Oh, okay. Thunder Bomb's really good against the Saline Slimer. Ramus, yeah, you attack. Um, Luna, she's my healer.
Yeah,
Really, that's it. And then I'd go with Alex, like sword dance, and just attack. That's it.
yeah.
It's pretty straightforward.
That's it. And once again, yeah, another common trope from RPGs of back then is that like your main character dude is like your physical combat type person, and
Mhm.
then usually like your first female character is your healer, um,
Yeah,
which it works, but it's good
it's
to see more.
it's very tropey.
It really
It
is.
really is. And even with like Nash being like arrogant, that's a very very big trope for a lot of wizards
True.
in not only just RPGs and fantasy in general. It's either they're bumbling idiots or they're just arrogant douchebags.
Well, look at the first real wizard that you meet in Suikoden is Luke,
Yeah,
and Luke is also a flaming douchebag.
yeah, exactly. Like just an arrogant turd.
Yep, yep,
But yeah, after we take down this alien slimer, we are on the boat to Maribia.
yep. And some lots of story bits here.
The cutscene here is phenomenal.
It is. Yep.
Even the voice acting in not traditional cutscenes, like when the boat's going and I was like, "Come with us," because Luna tries to stay back. She tries to stay back
Yeah.
and go back home, but you pulling away on the boat and she's, "Come with us," and she's like, "Do you really want me to?" Blah blah blah. Even the
Yes.
voice acting there is very very good.
Yeah. They did a really good job of it, and like it's just and it's nice that already like for this early in the game that they're doing a really good job at you know evoking those feelings,
Hmm.
which is really cool because like some like there's a lot of games especially on you know the pixel art side of things when it's just like game graphics and dialogue that it doesn't always necessarily really bring those feelings about. But I think that one
Yeah.
did a really fantastic job of that, which is
Oh
cool.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And like it's a lot easier for these days with how gaming has come to evoke emotions compared to what it was the PlayStation 1. It started getting a lot better in the PlayStation 2 when voice acting was more prevalent in video
Mm,
games. But PlayStation 1, Super Nintendo, evoking emotions in a video game was something very, very special at that time.
yeah.
And Lunar nailed it. Hands down. Absolutely nailed it.
Yep.
They just crushed it from the beginning of the game. But on the road to Maribia, we get a wonderful cutscene on the boat with Luna singing, of course. And it's a beautiful song.
It is.
Um, Fun fact: I used to put the soundtrack CD in my CD player and use it to fall asleep because it's very relaxing.
It is. It's very actually a very chill soundtrack. Who I'm not sure who actually did her singing voice, but it's just it's perfect for the character. Just absolutely perfect.
Yeah, it is. And now we're at Maribia.
Yeah. And basically at this point, the last thing that really happens is that I think it's at this point that Ramus is like, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go like try to hawk this or like become a. I don't think this is the point where he said he's gonna become a merchant yet, but I think
No,
he said
it's not.
he's gonna head off and try to go sell off the diamond, and I think that was the last thing that I saw.
Yeah, yeah. He go once you land on Maribia, he's like, all right, I gotta go sell this because he wants money. But yeah, that's where we pretty much stopped.
Yeah. Um, I think that's good stopping point because that's kind of like a really good not necessarily a full introduction to the game, but introduces us to a lot of the mechanics.
We're getting there.
It gets us a big kind of kickoff for the story, um, and I'm excited to play this week and get back into get back into it and really start experiencing more and more of the story because I do trust you. I do trust you. That is a fantastic game. Um,
This.
but like it's with RPGs, especially in that time, it's tough to like pick it up and be like, "Holy crap, this is amazing!" Like if you only played
Yeah.
the first like hour and a half of Final Fantasy VII, and like that was your entire experience, like this is boring as crap.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
RPGs back in the 90s and even early 2000s, it was very, very slow burn getting
yeah,
into them. Very, very slow burn. And as we touched base in the beginning of this episode, it's not a slow burn as much as like Final Fantasy VII.
yeah,
I mean, Final Fantasy VII, the first thing that really pulls you in is the Sector 5 reactor where the airbuster blows up the bridge and Squall falls, or not Squall, where Cloud falls down into the church and we meet Eris for the first time.
hmm
And we meet Reno from the Turks and that whole escape scene. That's when you really start to feel a connection to those characters, in my opinion. Everything
and,
else is just very, very bland up to that point,
and the
except for
game.
when Barrett yells about the pizza.
And like the gameplay doesn't even open up until you're out of Midgar.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So like there's like you're basically just on a pun intended on a train just basically until the end of Midgar, and then finally when you get out and you can go to Calm, it's just the game really opens up.
When
Um,
Final Fantasy VII, when that game was fresh, I rented it at Blockbuster like 3 different times before I got it, and I was so like blown away when I got out of Midgar. I'm like, holy shit! There's so much more to this game than what I thought. The whole game was going to take place in Midgar. I really did,
it could have.
because Midgar is that big of a has that big of a feeling. We only see what 3 sectors.
You see 3 sectors, and half of it you're only seeing like 2 or 3 city blocks.
Yeah. So
So
there's a lot more to Midgar. And look at the remake.
yeah,
They
exactly.
made Midgar into a whole game.
Yeah.
Which I'm super excited for the part 2. But
Well, but
go ahead.
to go, to just to kind of reinforce what I was talking about, like, I didn't even beat Final Fantasy VII until about 4 years ago.
Wasn't the first
I
time you beat it for the old cast?
yes, yes,
Like actually beat it?
that was the first time I actually beat the game.
Rest
Um,
in peace, the RPG Kingdom.
I tried to beat it before that, and I got up to our boy Sephi, and I was like extremely underleveled. I didn't even have like I think I had like zero actually maxed out materia. I was playing I was rushing it basically. Um,
So
but
here's
now
I have
I've
another
actually
fun
beat
fact
it.
when you're done for Final Fantasy VII.
okay. But then I played it again, for the cast, and actually did it right. I got my end game weapons. I got a bunch of the end game materia. I actually leveled up, and I went into that fight, and I'm like, goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big difference.
And the fact that they give you Omni Slash for the last section of that fight,
Yeah,
even if you don't get it, is great.
it was really cool. It was cool to be able to
Um,
actually see that, even though I
I
didn't get
still
it.
I still think the materia system is probably the best system in any Final Fantasy game ever.
I think I think so. I mean, I am partial uh to 6 and 9.
I like the
I mean,
job system in
the,
6.
the job system. Well,
Or
no,
no, in
the
5.
in 5 was, yeah, 5 had the job system, which was good. But I liked 6. I liked the espers. I liked the fact that you could just learn all the magic from the espers and then keep everything as you moved espers around and just use them for like leveling up bonuses. I really liked 9 because I like the idea of, like, I don't know, because it's like, to me 9 is like the grinder's dream,
The
because
AP
like,
system?
just, yes, just to like, get all of the equipment and then make sure you get all the spells from all the equipment and just grinding out the AP. It was just, to me, it was a lot of fun for that.
Uh,
I hate 12. I think, like, I hate I hate the fact that I have to like get the licenses for a spell, and then I have to go buy the spell.
yeah.
Like, I wish I could learn stuff out in the field and just be able to
Um,
use it right away. But
the junction system in Final Fantasy VIII fucking sucks. The fact that Final Fantasy VIII scales with your level is dumb.
that I scaling in single player RPGs is a bad, bad thing for me. I hate it. I can't.
The
I don't enjoy it at all.
the only ones that do it right, and this is one of the few things that they do right because their games are a buggy mess, are the old Elder Scrolls games. Skyrim scaling is perfect. It is actually
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
But so a fun fact on Final Fantasy VII. When I had that game, I rented it a few times, and when I was younger, like money was tight. Like I had to save money to buy my own games. I didn't just get games. So I rented it a couple times from Blockbuster. My buddy had it, and he was off of disc 1, so he let me borrow his disc 1. But I got to the end of disc 1 before he was done with disc 2, so I had to wait, and I inevitably got it for Christmas. And I was in 7th grade, I think, when that came out. Maybe 8th grade. What, 1997? I was in 7th grade. Um, so I was on disc 1, just fucking grinding. Like I was
Mhm.
just exploring and grinding. By the time I got onto disc 2, I was level 57.
That's amazing.
And the rest of the game was just like me, just like kind of walking through everything, no issues. But I was still having fun because the amount of custom, like the material, how much you can customize with the
Yeah,
materia system is just ridiculous.
pretty cool.
I like the sphere grid system too in 10.
I think this Grid's fun so far. I'm looking forward to getting deeper into that too. But
Yeah, and there's
I'll
ways to cheese it when you get too close to endgame, where you could just like get a piece of equipment, have two of your characters run away, go and fight the one monster that
Mm,
only does fire attacks, and the one piece of equipment turns all like elemental damage to AP.
nice.
So I
That's
just left it
awesome.
on. I just left it on overnight, and I'd like cap out somebody's sewer grid in like a night.
Beautiful. But all right, I'm gonna get us back on track. Um, so we've gone over the whole story. So I'd like to I'd like to dive a little bit into the mechanics of, how some different things work, and some of the things that that I saw when playing through this. First, like, the combat system is kind of weird to start.
It's
Um,
different.
and I'm not sure if I'm missing something or it's just not there, but the ability to just move. Like, can I just
No,
move?
no, you
Okay,
can't.
all right. So then I was right. That's stupid. Like, it's just, I feel like if you're gonna have a combat system that at least looks like positioning matters, then
Yeah,
positioning should matter.
Yeah, no, I agree on that. And it's like if an enemy's too far away, you'll waste one of your attacks
Exactly.
on getting to them, but you
Right.
don't have the availability to just move yourself,
Right.
which is dumb. It really is dumb. Um, this was one of the first JRPGs I played where encounters weren't random; they were on the
Mhm.
screen. Like you could actively dodge encounters.
Final Fantasy Mystic Quest.
Yeah, I mean that is true. Which I have a copy of that getting delivered to my house
Are you
eventually.
serious?
Yeah,
There's
McDee's, me and him, whenever we go to video game stores, we kind of like, hey, if there's anything you're looking for, let me know. He
you don't
found
know where mine is.
a really good copy of it down at a local game
Nice.
store for me cheap, so he's going to ship it up to me.
Very cool.
And then the other game I'm actually actively looking for is a better version of Lunar because I only have the discs.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
it is. I almost I almost bit the bullet and just bought a complete in box version of it,
Um,
which it actually isn't too bad. Like complete in box with the cardboard box, the map and everything. It's like it's not cheap. It's $170.
it's
It's
not bad for something that is obviously a collector's item.
yeah.
It's not just the game, it comes with the extra rad stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not
If
horrible.
it was just like the game in the case, no. The game in the case is I think around 90 right now.
Like buying a copy of Suikoden 2.
I have to tweak it into it. I'm never getting rid of those games.
I just have to show it off every time we talk about it. This thing
I know.
is I gotta replace the actual case itself, but everything else inside is gorgeous. Um
Yeah.
the only other thing that I don't think we really talked about so far was the AI system, which the AI system I think is actually it's almost like a pre Final Fantasy 12 Gambit,
A little bit, yeah.
where you can kind of it's you can set up your character the way you like, kind of what you want them to be doing when you hit AI, and then kind of and let them roll once you get into battle. And
Yeah.
it's nice to not just to have to like click, tap
Oh
tap
no,
tap 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 tap, and it's
you're
just
absolutely correct. You're 100% correct on
much
that.
quicker.
You can set up the AI system just to how you want it to roll, and it's
Yeah,
very intuitive, especially for that time frame. Especially for that time
yeah,
frame.
yeah.
And to think this was on the Sega CD and that was included. I played the Sega CD version. It's not as good. It's still good. It was included in that too.
That's nice. It's a cool thing to have, especially because the game does require a chunk of grinding, especially for equipment,
Yeah.
um, that you can kind of just, collide with the enemies and then just let it roll without
Yeah.
having to worry about it.
Yeah. You could just sit there and zone out. You don't have to think about anything. You could focus on, other things. You could put something on your phone. You could put some music on. Perfect. It works really well in that sort of aspect. My one thing is just like we're getting this weekend 1 and 2 remasters or remakes, re-releases, whatever they
Mhm.
are. I would love.
Remasters, I think.
Yeah, I think they are
Remaster.
remasters.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they're going to be 16 by 9 format.
I
I
don't
don't know.
care.
I
I
don't
think we
either.
talked about this before. I don't care. I just
I don't either.
give it,
Yep.
give.
And there better be a physical release of it.
Oh, I'll go. I will fight Japan for a physical release of that
I
game.
mean, you just have to fight Konami. You don't have to fight all of Japan.
I'm not saying I'm going to, but I will if I have to.
And then yeah, give me a re-release of this. Even if I mean, I would prefer this and Eternal Blue. Eternal Blue is not a bad game. It's not as good as this one. Sequel, obviously, but yeah, give me a re-release of this, just like you're doing Suikoden. I know it's not Konami, but I don't even know who owns the rights to Lunar anymore
I don't.
because
I don't know.
I don't think Working Designs is defunct, aren't they?
I thought so, but I also thought that they've done something like somewhat recently. No, it does say was. Oh, geez, they haven't done anything since PS2. I don't know what I
Yeah, I
was
thought they
looking
were
at.
defunct.
I don't know what I was looking at that I Oh, so after that, I guess one of the key people from Working Designs went on to found Gaijin Works,
Okay.
which basically has been doing the same thing of bringing some of those niche like RPGs and stuff over to the States, but like they haven't done anything since 2017. And that
So,
was Summon Night for PS4.
Game Arts is still a thing, so we might
Well,
be
that's cool.
safe.
Yeah.
They one of the last things they did was actually, I hate to say it though, for a while there, Grandia in Eternal Blue was 98,
Okay.
and then the Grandia port or Grandia on the PlayStation, Grandia 2 on the Dreamcast in 2002. They did a couple other things, and then Lunar Legends, which was on the DS, or no, the Game Boy
Hmm.
Advance,
Okay.
as well as Silver Star Harmony. And then they didn't do anything for a couple of years, and then um, they did Ragnarok Odyssey on the Vita.
Yeah.
They took a couple of years off, and then 2015 they did Grandia 2 HD Remaster on PC, and they actually just did the HD collection
Yep.
for the Switch and the
Which is
PC.
pretty cool.
Which, if they're doing that, I mean, that was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Let's go,
Let's do it.
Game
Let's make it
Arts.
happen.
I will give you my hard-earned dollary dues.
Um,
Give me this game with trophies and achievements.
I only have one last thing that I want to make mention of before I shut
Yes.
up. Is that um, all right? We've talked about the music being ridiculous. We talked about the VO being unnecessarily fantastic.
Yes.
The sound effects in the game are some of the worst I've heard in a PlayStation 1 game.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
They are horrible.
Especially when you do like the sword dance.
Yes.
That's really bad.
Yes. It's like
Yeah.
it's the weakest, like it honestly might be the weakest part of the game so far is just
I
the
mean,
sound design itself.
it is. Yeah, like the sound effects are pretty bad, but I will take that for everything else that this game does so well.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna stop playing because of the sound effects, but I'll sure as heck make fun of
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
them.
Absolutely.
And also, I think I may have, well, not I'm sure a million other people have found it, but noticed a bug that whenever Ramus gains a level, the the combat or the battle end takes like 10 seconds longer than any other time. Like it's
Yeah.
just him though. Like if Alex or Luna gained a level, it's fine. Ramus gains a level, however you say his name, it it just like slugs.
I
It's
think I think that might be because all he gains is HP. So it's like trying to check to upgrade the rest of his stats, but there's like a hard stop in the code for it not to upgrade those
yeah,
stats. So it's just running through those same lines of code for the stats that don't exist for him.
it's trying to display them even though it's not.
Yeah.
Just but it's entirely possible. Still a bug, but
Is it a bug or is it just an intended mechanic that was still around in 1990?
I mean I guess it could be intended, but then it's it's not a bug, it's a feature bug.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like in Skyrim, where I can go up to the Greybeards and sit behind them while they're praying and beat the shit out of them to level up my sneak.
Yeah.
It's it's a mechanic in the game, so it's not cheating,
No, it's
and they don't die.
and they don't fight back.
They do. If
I've
you hit them enough, they will fight you back.
really?
Oh yeah,
I've never actually had them fight back.
oh, I have.
Yeah.
Trust
Okay.
me, I have.
But well, I think that's all I have to say.
That is all I have
Uh,
to say to Travis.
okay.
Travis, where can they find you on the internet?
Uh, at my desk.
That's not at the internet or on the internet. That's at your desk.
I am on the internet.
Where can they find you on the internet, Travis?
You'll find me on Twitter at SodaXBread. That's it. I'm really nowhere else
That's true.
by myself anymore. So
you can find me on Twitter at it's xcore. Twitter. If you want to follow like me as I turn my garage into a full like commercial style gym, I am documenting that on that clock app known as TikTok. Also, it's xcore. And then also you can follow SiteScope on Twitter, Instagram, Threads.
I think we're pretty much at SiteScope Pod most places.
We are.
Yeah.
On the TikTok, I just post shitty memes on TikTok that do really well.
I don't post anything on TikTok because I can't make memes shitty enough.
Thanks. Thanks. I appreciate that.
Dude, you're such a better memer than me. We've talked about this. I just can't.
Because you're old. I'm 2 years younger than you.
I know.
But follow us on social media. If you're watching this on the YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It helps people find us in the future. And
check out our other videos.
Yeah, check out. We have other videos. Travis
I'm making more
compendiums. My thing is I'm going to be doing like a long deep dives into like RPGs.
I have scissors.
You have scissors. And then we are on every podcast app besides Spotify, apparently.
Oh, dude, Spotify. I'm gonna punch Spotify in the neck.
Spotify is a piece of shit.
But if they give me 300 mil like they did to Rogan, I'll take it. I'll get back on there.
I'll say whatever they want me to say for 300 mil. But that's going to be it for episode 1 of Lunar, the Silver Star Story Complete. We'll see you in the next video or podcast, wherever you're listening. Deuces.
I have no idea what we're playing to, but Adam will tell me later. Peace. Twice.
All right. Recording is off.
Oh, fuck. I forget how to tell it to stop. Craig, leave. I just stopped.